This is just a continuation video of my unboxing of the 3 Monarch Precious Metal bars, as well as market cycle trends and the Wall Street cheat sheet on bubbles.
All right, guys, I am on macrotrends.net, and you can look up a lot of historic prices of silver, gold, precious metals, Bitcoin, all sorts of things. And you can compare them using like ratios and all sorts of things. The gray lines represent recessions. So this was where the silver price was during the last 2008 recession, and how it was kind of going up and then it actually dropped a lot. These things, they tend to cycle, but they don't cycle perfectly, but you can kind of see where this bubble was last time. Usually they go up what you call parabolically. It just looks unnatural. Like a natural upswing would just be like this, like that way. But this is kind of an unnatural look when it just spikes so quickly. And then it usually hits a blow off top, like you would, like in a natural occurrence, it would kind of go up that way, and then it would, but then there was this blow off top where it just shot up in 1 year, super, a ton of price action right there. But then if you can see, this is called the Wall Street cheat sheet. You can look this up online, just type in Wall Street cheat sheet or Google search psychology of a market cycle. And this is just, it's all over the internet, but it basically just represents any bubble. But I think that this was actually, this came from the last bubble in the NASDAQ when Amazon, AOL, all those big companies that were tech companies just kind of blew up back in 2000, 2001. As you can tell, there's different psychological points. Look at my last video, a couple videos back on fear versus greed, and how you should be contrarian in any market when there's ultimate euphoria and like people, everybody's talking about how great something is. Everybody's talking about how great Bitcoin is or something back in 2017, for instance. Tulip bubbles, tech bubbles, real estate bubbles, everything can bubble. And usually the next bubble like is going to be something that nobody will assume, because they'll think that there's something, like there's first the hope, and then they get to the point where there's like everybody starts believing in it because they think it's like it's gotta occur. But there's always times of contraction and times of expansion in any cycle. So when something expands way too fast, there's usually repercussions. It gets traded to the point of way past its value, but and it'll usually drop a lot, and then there will be a bull trap. So like when it drops a lot, it bounces up a second time, and then it really crashes. And when it crashes, you go into all these psychological complacency, anxiety feelings, denial, panic, and then capitulation is when everybody wants out, and it just drops straight down, almost like a wall, faster than when it goes up usually. Just like in the last silver rally, it took from 2000 to 2010 to go up from the last 2000 recession. This was the recession of the dot-com bubble. See how it just like, it took a long time. It took these 10 years to go up, and then it really took about 4 years to crash. But really, most of the crash occurred over 2 years. So, you know, just like the last parts, the euphoria at the top, the thrill, the belief, all this stuff, the optimism, the rally really took a while to go up. That last stage, usually that euphoria and thrill takes that last year, and it just blows up. See, because if you just looked at it up to here, it would look like, wow, that's a really strong market. But then it gets kind of crazy, and then it gets even crazier, and then it just blows up at the top, then it crashes. But right now we're way down here, and based on this Wall Street cheat sheet, it kind of looks like we're right about here. But that being said, I don't want to get ahead of myself, because like these cycles, they repeat, but they usually trick people, and they never occur exactly the same. So I wouldn't just say definitely we're in this, you know, the depression part. There's a chance that this could drop even further. Like even with this last rally, this last rally where everybody's talking about, oh wow, silver's rallying in the last couple of weeks. That's what it looks like on this long-term trend. And you want to kind of look at the long-term trend as downward. That being said, as you can tell, I'm strong on silver, and I think now is the time to buy, because I think I can pretty confidently say we're somewhere between this ending of this last bubble from 2011, the burst of the last silver bubble, which is back here, that peak right there. We're somewhere between this last, denial. We could be right here actually, but it's likely, and it's likely we've already reached this lower region, this anger. There's a lot of people who did hold before. You can look at a lot of old ghost channels on silver. A lot of those old ghost YouTube channels, they were made up here, or they were made like somewhere over here, and then they gave up because what happened is it went down so much, and they felt this anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression. And are we in this depression and anger phase? Probably. There's a lot of people who say like silver is definitely done. Silver's over. We're right here. And it's just, the thing is, it is going to take years for this to come back, probably 2-3 years, or it could start rallying right now, but you just got to have patience. That's why you've got to really enjoy stacking, and just love it. But also you've got to make plans. So you've got to plan your stacking, have a portfolio allocation. Look at my last videos on portfolio allocation, because then you can kind of like see what you want to do. And anyone who doesn't have a plan and you plan on spending a lot of money on this, and this takes a lot of money to stack, right? So you really have to plan as much as possible, because that's what will make or break your silver stacking strategy. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share this with you, and I hope you're having a good one. Metal Bum out.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
Upcoming videos on market psychology, keep calm and carry on, and greed versus fear, as well as a full stack video coming soon with actual details.